Now we want to switch it up here to talk about the weather because it was a warm weekend and a warm start to the work week.
Yes, it was a really warm weekend, especially yesterday. We ended up in the 90s, but today it looks like it could actually be even hotter. It looks like we're going to reach about 94 degrees. Now, if we do reach that, that would tie the record high of 94 that was originally set back in 2011. Now, typically this time of year, highs should only be in the upper 70s, so we're talking well above normal, and we're already there. This is our Integris camera, part of our Pike Pass Sky Chem network. We're at 84 degrees, a south wind at 21, wind gust at 26. The heat index already up to 90 degrees in Oklahoma City. Temperatures, the actual air temperature themselves already approaching 100 degrees in southwest Oklahoma. We have low to mid 90s in the northwest, and in the northeast, low to mid 80s, still some upper 70s down there in McCurtain County. But look at where that dry line is. Behind that, we have dew points in the 20s, the teens out in the panhandle, but the rest of us, it is going to be a very muggy afternoon. So after factoring that in, of course, it feels more like the low to mid 90s around parts of central Oklahoma. That south wind not really helping things a whole lot today. It's out of the south between about 15 to as much as around 35 miles an hour. Gusts a little higher than that out to the west. Again, approaching around 40 at times. But the big picture showing this next storm system, well, out ahead of it, the moisture is certainly going to be increasing across parts of central Oklahoma, the dry line out to the west. And with that being said, along that dry line as we get into tomorrow afternoon and evening, we could actually have a few showers and storms form out there. I don't think they're going to make it that far east, but here in central Oklahoma, we could have a slight to moderate chance that at least some rain and storms actually make it in here by late tomorrow night to Wednesday morning. And kind of the same setup as we get into Wednesday. We're expecting another chance of rain and storms out in the panhandle that will try to make a run for western Oklahoma. Thursday looks pretty quiet, but as we approach the weekend, we're going to have a couple more waves move in that at least bring a slight chance of rain and storms across portions of the state. But outside of that, it's certainly going to be staying hot. It's going to still be pretty humid throughout the week as well, with quite a bit of wind. As we get into early next week, kind of the same setup. It still looks very warm with a couple of waves moving in that could bring a slight chance of rain and storm. So the rest of today and into tonight, very quiet. No storm chances this evening. But by late tomorrow afternoon and into the evening, the dry line out to the west, out ahead of it, we should have some showers and storms that form along and out ahead of it that eventually move into parts of western Oklahoma. And some of these will have the potential of becoming severe. But by late tomorrow night, as it does approach the metro, I think it should be in that weakening stage, but we at least still have a chance of getting some additional rain in. Then by Wednesday afternoon, nice and dry again, but later in the evening, we're going to do it all over again way out to the west. So today, looking for a high of about 94 degrees in Oklahoma City, but around 100 to the lower 100s in the western and southwest part of the state. Overnight tonight, temperatures only dropping down into the low to even the upper 70s in southwest Oklahoma. Tomorrow it's going to be very warm. Really, it's just going to be hot with lots of wind out of the south and southeast. Around 100 degrees across the far west, 104 in Alva, 102 degrees tomorrow afternoon in Woodward. But by tomorrow evening, I think it is pretty likely that we will at least have some showers and storms in western Oklahoma. By tomorrow night to Wednesday morning, I think that chance is going to be a lot greater in southwest Oklahoma with a moderate chance. Some of the storms do make it into Oklahoma City, but that severe threat will stay in far western Oklahoma by late tomorrow evening and into tomorrow night. Now, that tornado threat, it is going to be very low, but I still have to keep at least a very low threat across the far western half of the state with up to golf ball size hail and wind gusts, potentially up to 65, maybe 75 miles an hour with some of those severe storms. Outside of that, today, the big headline is really going to be just how hot and humid it is, but hot and dry across the west. So the fire threat will be extremely high in that western half of the state today. Otherwise, on Wednesday, temperatures in the upper 80s, so still very warm, but hot across the west. Highs in the low to mid 90s, a breezy south wind. Then as we get into the weekend, those storm chances start to pick up again. Temperatures back in the upper 80s. You can see some more storm chances as we get into early next week. So the pattern still looks a little bit active here and there. We don't have any big time storm system moving in anytime soon, but we at least have a couple of chances of rain here and there.